Welcome. I'm about out of rough to cut, but I'm not completely out. And I went through the pile and I picked out some stuff that I thought was interesting. We got Lambina, Who Knows, Lightning Ridge, Cooper Petey, Who Knows, Lightning Ridge, and Lambina. I don't know if we'll get to all of those, but every one of them was interesting in some way. Now, these are all probably what you'd get, and well, I know this one right here. I bought this one as a gamble parcel, meaning there's a 99% chance that you threw your money in the garbage. There is color in it. That's why I bought it. The difficulty is, let me show you. Let me see if I can. Look at, there's beautiful color in it. That's why I bought it on the auction. The problem is, look at that split down the middle right there. So you have a little nodule of color here. You have a little nodule of color here. If it doesn't go back into this area here, you could cut, you know, a third of a carat here and a third of a carat there, because of the way it all sits on there. It's going to be extremely difficult to get anything out of that. But we will open it up and see if we can get any money out of it, or any value out of it, really. I'm not selling anything, but it's one that, because of the color, I bought it, and when I got it and looked at it closer, it's got a very low chance of cutting something useful. It would probably be a perfect carver. This would be a good one for someone who liked to carve. So let's get started. I don't know if we'll start with that one. Let's maybe start with, I think, look at this one. Look at the color. This one's thin, so it might only, might end up being too thin to cut anything, but the color bar is interesting. All of these have something interesting in them. They're all, I think these are all ones that you would term gambles, because you're going to have everything come out right to get something out of them. That one's got a nice color bar, but it's angled. This one's got a really cool, just kind of green. It's going to be pinfire, but it's a green, pretty color bar, pretty thick. That one should cut something. We just see how it faces if it's bright. Maybe we start with the Lightning Ridge one here. Extreme gamble, because I see a couple flecks of blue up there in the face and black potch underneath. We're just going to rub that face and see if we get something. See if we get rid of the sand, see if there's any color in it, and see if we get something out of that. Probably 4 or 5 carat piece. Let's start there. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's massage the top off of this on the fine wheel. See if any color shows up. Or see if we add another casualty to the chip jar. Kind of my bet here. The skin is kind of fractured with that heel potch fracturing. Haven't seen any other color show up yet. So what did you guys do today? I branded and castrated about 100 calves. My boss. It's actually a pretty good privilege to get asked to go do that. It's only kind of a family thing, but I enjoy it, so I go do it whenever I get a chance. It gives me a chance to use my horse most of the time with some purpose. Oh, good grief. This isn't looking promising. Let's take down this side. See if we get into any color. Nothing. Nothing. going to warm up the fingers, I guess, and get most of the dropsies out. I've always got a lot of those. Yep, we're not running into any color. That one don't even belong in the chip jar. Scratch that one. Let's do something that will probably turn out something cool. Let me show you what I'm seeing here. An arched color bar right there. Gemmy and bright green, and the way it's domed like that, I'll make that at the top and see if we can't get a high dome piece out of it by using that arched color bar to our advantage. Get that bottom established so we have a base to work from. Not much size here to work with. If we roll that bottom a little bit to get us a better angle. Heading down into that color bar. Getting close. Starting to get into it. Maybe this one will face. It looks like it down under the skin there, but ooh, that made an improvement. I don't know if there's anything we can do with that side. The blues popped up right there, so I think that's what we're working with. Concentrate here and get a base that I can work with. Pushing cut is what it's heading toward, but it has such a slant to it, I don't know. That sand right there in the end, how much can I roll out and how much do I have to cut out? Here we go. Some greens and blues. Alright, let's see where that one's going. Should we tackle this one? This one could be the cut of the day or it could be garbage, and I would say it's probably, well, we're going to know here shortly. There's color here on this side. There's a chance. There's not. Sand. 100% sand. 100% sand. The only color on this is what you see in that one side. And that's what I'm finding with these, unfortunately, these gamble pieces from Opal auctions. Don't even need to say the name of this specific seller because they're all been pretty much the same. A gamble piece is a gamble. You're going to lose most of the time. That's by design. Still no color. whole thing is sand, except for where you see color. I mean, look, we're just literally just sand. There's the littlest bit of color there starting to creep in. So the question is, can you cut anything out of that? I think the answer is no. I think the answer has to be no. I mean, I guess the answer is you could cut something, but I'm seeing if even if you went in from the bottom, just starting to see a little color there, but it's all sand. It's just all sand. There's really no point in doing anything else with that. That's all the color that was in it. That color is not ever going to cut anything that I would, you know, unless I cut those pieces out and put them in an inlay ring, which I could. I have a couple. Let me show you. So I've got these inlay ready rings that I probably will make that a project, because I get some kind of, you know, kind of the right colors that I'd like, and that one could certainly be a part of that. Maybe that's what we'll keep it for. All right, let's get something that turns out here. Now this one, I don't know if it will either. These are all gamble pieces. Look at all the color, if you can see it. Look at all the color in this tip right here. I don't think there's any color in this bottom piece. Nothing that I can see that's worth trying. So what we're going to do is going to do the old roll cut trick from Black Opal Direct. Get rid of the part that I have no use for, that won't produce anything. Save me from having to go over there to the cutter. So there's no color in that. We didn't lose anything by cutting that off. What we do have is this piece right here. Now, how do we get something out of that? Looks like the color bar's right in the top. Yeah. Dang it. So it peaks, it domes right there, so I don't really have a bottom to go off of, but it's too close to the top there to do anything else. So let's just kiss the top of it off, see what we got. Just start kind of peeling that skin off. We revealed a bunch of sand so far. Let's hope that's not a theme. Not down to the color bar yet. Starting to come through. I think my color bar is just in that one side right there. Not seeing a whole lot right there. You got a nice bright orange color bar right there. And nothing anywhere else. Nothing worth cutting. We're going to call this video Let's Gamble, because these are a good representation of what gamble pieces are. And I'm hoping this will be a warning, because I bet not 1 in 10 is going to pay out. And if you got them at 50% off of what they would have been if they were better, you'd have been better off just to spend some money. If you'd have spent some money, you'd have ended up with something. Now this one was interesting. I picked it because it doesn't have a color bar that I can see. It just has that blue hue to it. So I was going to kiss it and see what reveals itself. If there's something to that blue. I don't know where it comes from. There's more of it coming out. take the skin off everywhere and see what we're working with. That's what we got, is just a blue glow. I don't know. Does that strike your fancy? Is that something that you would wear for a piece of jewelry or no? I think you know. Interesting. Since I'm probably not going to cut it, I'm just kind of taking the skin off as much as possible. Well, that's what we got. We got a little bit of a blue glow in that one. No color bar. No, there's maybe a little bit of yellow or a little bit of gold, but nothing really, nothing worth going any further. All right, what do we got? We got one little workout. This one's razor thin, but pretty bright. Can you see that color bar? See if it goes all the way around. A lot of sand. Okay, the color bar is now there all the way around. A little bit of sand left in that edge. Well, there's a chance that there'll be a little gem here. A little bit of sand left right there. Come out, come out, come out, come out. All right, let's go in from the top and see what we can get. Go slow. It's a very thin color bar. There it is. Peeking through, I think we almost need to dop that up and just very carefully take the rest of that skin off the top, because there's no room for error there. I don't want to take anything off that bottom, because that's all the bottom I've got. It's not the greatest bottom. I might smooth it out, level it out just the littlest bit. Now that's what we got. That's doublet material right there. Come on, sand, come off the top. I don't think we're going to get through the sand before we lose color bar. Oh, these are so bright from the side, if you can see that. I don't know if you can, but when you get to the face, they're just not near as bright. I suspect that that's opal that forms in the vertical seams and not the horizontal seams. So you're looking at the brightest. You're looking at the brightest color, not on the face, but like that. Maybe not. Just kind of a curiosity why some face is better than others. So much sand in that face, I just don't see it. I think we'll be out of the color bar before we get it out. That's the thickest part of the color bar is where that sand is at. I don't know. Can we dop that up and try for something, or abandon it? We don't have a whole lot left here to work with. Might as well. What do we got? We got this green. The green. We'll know pretty quick here. We pull a little bit off that face and it doesn't get any better. We just got a little bit of a green. Pin fire. No real brightness to it. got a cushion cut there if we had the color to want to do it. We got ourselves a cushion cut with really not enough depth and intensity in the color to make it interesting. Take the bottom down a little bit. Kind of a crumbly, oh, what the heck? We just popped out of that crumbly bottom. That's more interesting than that. I think I kind of like that color. Wonder if that one little black spot right there will come out. And I'm almost inclined to I didn't see that there. Did not see that color there. It's in a ugly matrix, but it's almost a boulder opal look. Speaking of boulder opal, I need to do a video on my trials to try and get some boulder opal. I'll at least say this much. I learned that my buddy Tommy at Opals, who I recommend as a good source for rough opal with some value to it. Well, there's another Opals out there, and I didn't know that there was two different Opals, so I started going with the one that was on Facebook. And he is not Tommy. He is the anti-Tommy. So beware the fake Opals. Look at that. I think we keep that just the way it is right there, that bottom. I almost like it. I'd almost set that as a pendant. Man, if it was bigger, I'd do a pendant out of it. It's kind of a boulder opal look. But anyway, so as I've said, I like Facebook and auctions on Facebook as a source for rough opal. And I wanted to get some boulder opal to do some pendants for men. I think they look pretty cool. Pendants and rings I wanted to do. And this Opals imposter, I thought it was Tommy. He listed, I think 5 or 6 parcels of pretty nice boulder opal, and the reserve was, I think, I can't remember now, $100 or $125, something like that. Well, those auctions, because they're in Australia, they go out at 3 a.m. for me here, so I have to set an alarm and get up at 3 a.m. And if you win it, you're excited and don't go back to sleep, and if you lose it, you're mad and don't go back to sleep. But I set an alarm and I bid on the auction, and it was going out at, I think, 8 p.m. Australia time. And so at about 7:58 I bid, and I was the high bidder. 7:59 I was the high bidder. 8 o'clock I was the high bidder. 8:01 I was the high bidder. 8:02 a bid comes in. 8:03 a bid comes in. I was like, oh well, no problem, those bids are late. And then here comes Mr. Fake Opals saying, well, the winner is so-and-so, the high bidder that had come in 2 minutes late after the auction closed. And so I was like, wait a minute, unless I don't understand how your auctions work, that's not how it's supposed to work. That's not how the other auctions work. There's nothing you can do about it. So then he posted a parcel of really nice, I got something that I really like here. It's not super bright, but it's pretty on both sides. Anyway, he posted another parcel of stuff that was really high quality stuff. And when somebody else asked on the price of it, and it was thousands of dollars. But it was a large lot. I think several pounds of it. And I said, hey, would you be interested in selling, since I mean, it's been several days and nobody had given him any offers on it. I said, would you be interested in selling smaller parcels of that? I can't afford all of it, but I'd like to get some. And I get no reply for like a day and a half. And then finally he comes on and he says, well, I can put together a parcel for you. And I said, great, that'd be great. So like another 12 hours or something goes by, and he comes on and he says, I'm putting some parcels up. And I'm thinking, okay, that sounds good. What do we got here? Is this our angled color bar one, or what do we got? I'm not sure what I got here or what I thought I was going to get. Got distracted. I don't see any color in that. Oh, that's the piece that we cut off. Here's the angle color bar one. Right? Yep. We got to try and match that angle right there of the color bar to get something out of it. You can see it there. It's not super bright, but we'll try for something. Anyway, so he says, I'm putting together some parcels for you. And so I stay up. It's like 10 o'clock at night, I think. And he doesn't reply or anything. 10:30, he says something like he's almost got it ready. And I finally just go to bed. Wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I see I've got a message from him. And he said, well, the last thing he said to me was, I'm putting some parcels together and you'll get first crack at them. And I was like, great. So I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and he says, there's 6 parcels, you can have your choice. You get first choice out of them. So he doesn't send me videos, so I go look at his Facebook page and he's posted 7 or 8 parcels and 6 of them were already sold. And the 2 that were left were just a bunch of, mostly just garbage I wouldn't be interested in. So I messaged him, I was like, hey, where's the parcels that I was supposed to get first crack at? Because all I see is these sold ones. And he says, yeah, I listed them for sale. So, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, why is it so hard for you to just put together a parcel, say this is how much it costs, you want it. And if I don't want it, list it for sale. I'm standing here with money held out saying, please sell me something, and this guy's an idiot. So I was a little bit aggravated, and I was like, dude, you told me that I had first choice of them, but you listed them for sale and they were sold before I ever saw the auctions. They're not near the quality of the ones that I tried to get before. I don't want 25 or 50 pieces with 30 of them junk. I'd rather pay double for 10 good ones than throw a bunch away. So he said, he finally replies, he says, oh, now I understand better what you want. Let me put something together for you. Well, that was about 12 hours ago. So I'm only staying with it out of sheer morbid curiosity. And because I want some Boulder Opal. But beware the fake Os Opals. Look for Tommy's Os Opal store. He doesn't sell, I think he doesn't sell on Facebook. I think he only sells online in his store. You know what, we're going to end up with nothing but garbage on all this gamble stuff. Unless this really turns to something pretty quick here. We're just about down to the color bar, but it's not looking great. It's not looking great. That bottom there just in case that little piece turns into something. Keeps looking like the skin's going to come off and it's going to turn bright, but it just doesn't. It just stays milky. Stays kind of milky like there's color coming up, but it's not really getting brighter. Could be just a little bit of skin left on it. Let's keep trying. Not out anything if it doesn't get better. By going down anyway. I think I lied. I must be out of material. If this is what I'm resorting to cutting, I must be out of material. Stupid postal service had my package in LA since I think the 16th. See, it always just looks like there's a skin over the color, and you keep going down and eventually you're going to have the color bar and it never really gets bright. It doesn't face. Since the color bar is not bright, I see no downside to going down and losing what I got. It's nothing. There we go. There's a the blue pip just showed up. Right there, if you can see it. See my one little blue pip? That little spot just got a little brighter. Did I finally get down to the right level? Okay, we're going to stop right there. See if we can stop this up and make something out of it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because it's so fractured to get something that big. You see the steps right there. And there's really not a base to work with here by the time we got down on the color bar to the point where it was interesting. But we just as well face it and see what we can get. Could always, again, that would always make maybe inlay. Is that all I brought out here? That one was garbage. I think we about got a, well, no, we got the one left. We got this little green monster. That little green monster. Can you see the color in it? This is more inlay material. Why are we down to cutting inlay material? I don't think there's going to be any color on this end. There's not. There's not. There's not. Just about down to color. These color bars just barely dip in and then they disappear, and you get just the sand on the backside. By the time you get all the sand off and get down to color bar, you're left with the toothpick. Let's see what the color bar will face like anyway. Which side do we want to face it from? This side or this side? I'm going to say this side. Not putting hardly any pressure on it, just letting it kiss the wheel. Looking at inlay stuff here, and I'm almost taking less material off by going from this side. It's almost sixes. We're gonna have nothing but color bar left. Still don't have color bar on this edge. Gosh. Nothing here. It looks so good from the side, and there's no facing to it. It's like a ghost of a color bar. Ghost color bars. See that? I mean, from the side it still shows that I got color bar there. I haven't gone through it. Got sand there. Alright, we might be almost down to some brighter color. Almost there. Almost there. We're going to end up with paper thin. And I bet you that's about all it's going to get. If you can even see that. It's barely even doublet thin, and it faces dead on really good from the top. Hint of blue. Smidgen of green. Again, I'm not out anything by trying to see if it'll go. Yeah, I'm right in the middle of that color bar now, and it's just nothing. Right from the side, nothing from the top or the bottom. What junk. Well, we got this one. I can dop that one up and see if we can turn it into anything. Other than that, it was a complete bust, I think. What do we have? This one. That one we can get something out of. We got two chances. We'll get something small out of this one. So let me dop them up and I'll show you what we end up with. Alright, we're just refining the shape. On the odd chance we have anything worth looking at, I would sure like to be symmetrical and pretty. All I do is tickle the high spots until I don't got high spots anymore. Now let's see if we can, and the surface of this is dish-shaped. Have to be pretty flat because this color bar is just paper thin. I just have to lean this thing down to get it to. So we got some color in that. But the color bar is just, I mean, I got no place to go from here. There's going to be no dome. I don't even dare put that on that wheel anymore. I think it's just clean it up enough to buff it the way it is. If it needs to be leveled out, it'll have to be done from the bottom, or not at all. It's not ugly. It is not ugly. All right. Sorry, I'm working on the wheel you can't see. Let me get the other. You want to know my new favorite dop sticks? The screw. Man, you get good traction right there for spinning. They're cheap. You can make the end of it just whatever size you want. I think both of these are just about, not really, they're just practice cutting, trying to see if you can, what you can make from what you got, really. Man, this one's got some pretty, there's a face that you can see. That little sand just came out. This weird shape to the dome. I'm watching my color bar really close to make sure I don't run out of it while I'm kind of cabbing the dome. Knowing the whole time, but I don't have anything on this bottom corner right here to work with. There's just nothing there. So this is just practice facing. We ended up doing, oh, you know what? I never dopped up this one. I'll dop that one up because we're going to polish it too. I'll be back. Good thing about this one is it's almost all color bars, so. Boy, does it look. We're a little bit crooked on our face there, and I don't want to take the bottom off because I like the bottom so much. I think the color bar is thick enough we can fix that on this side. Normally you'd never fix that inconsistency on the color bar side, but I almost like the bottom color bar than the top, but more than the top color bar. And there should be enough top color bar that I'm not going to lose anything. Roll those corners just a little bit so that they're not sharp corners. Maybe one more kiss. Alright, that's what's going to give us. I'll show you the other side when I get it all cleaned up. For 5 or 6 gamble pieces, I would say that we did pretty good. This is the Lambina one. Very difficult color bar on it. Okay, next some reason through the camera lens the magnification doesn't actually work, but I think the lighting is better, so we'll stick with it. This one was a good exercise because the color bar was so thin, almost nothing there, and it wasn't super bright, but we got color. We stayed with the color bar that we had without losing it, and it made something. And finally, my favorite piece is this one. It's just pinfire green, but it's a very pleasing pinfire green and actually fairly bright. My favorite part was, look at the color that was on the back of it. I was just cutting the back down to get it level, and I burned up most of that color bar, but it's super cool. The colors and the contrast, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't see that little color bar there, but we stopped just in time to save it. Made it kind of an interesting two-sided piece almost, but yeah. Which one's your favorite? That one's mine. Got that one. That one. There you go. That's a better look at it than before. Look at that. It's got color across the whole face. And the little Lambina. This is some of the hardest stuff, I think, to get good pictures or video of. This, for whatever reason, this color just doesn't show well on the camera. It actually looks way better in person. It's got flashes of color deep down in that just don't show up here. Alright, I think that's actually a better look at it to what your eye sees. See the red right there on the edge? Between having light on both sides here, I think you can finally see. Look at the red. Look at that red play. That's really a stunning little gem for a gamble piece. Every one of those was ones that I knew would be difficult, but I think 3 out of 6 on gambles is pretty good odds. What do you think? Yeah, I think this is better. Finally finding a good place where I can actually see it through the camera as I see it with my eye. Even with all that garbage on the back of this, that color right there is just really, because I see red, I see blue, I see green, I see yellow, orange. Oh, look at that. And then one more look at this one since we've got the good light. That one looks way better than it did in the other light.